Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is officially Monday, which means story times. Hey, if you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, welcome back. I want you guys to go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure y'all give me a thumbs up. But yeah, let's get into it. Let me scoot up for this one. This story time took place a long time ago, like when I was a kid, and I just wanted to talk about it because I was a little something, but I used to have fun. So anyway, originally this had took place a long time ago between middle school and elementary. After elementary school, I had switched schools and went to a new middle school. So it was kindergarten through 8th grade school, so we had the whole school in there. So I was like the new kid on the block. As reference to that, but we're not gonna talk so much about me switching schools because that was in 5th grade. We're gonna talk about 6th grade, my second year into the school. So it was cool or whatever. By this time I had made some friends. My 5th grade year was a little rough or whatever, so I'm gonna talk about that at another time. But as far as the next year, when they seen I wasn't really the one to mess with, I became popular or whatever. So after I became popular, I had became known for like having sleepovers and stuff. And I would have a sleepover like, I don't know, each like little holiday like breaks that we get in school, or just on the weekend, because I was always known for having a sleepover or whatever. So after my 5th grade year, I had lost my best friend, and not like nothing like that, like passed away or nothing, but she had moved or whatever and ended up going to a new school. So I had met Zay. So y'all know Zay. This is 6th grade year, and I had met Zay. So Zay ended up coming to our school, and at first, we didn't really know each other, but I guess because I was already popular and, like I said, known for my sleepovers and stuff, she became like, okay, interested in me, and we ended up talking or whatever. We also went to a after school program together, which I'm gonna end up talking about that because that was also a reason, like, oh, okay, I could be her friend or whatever. She in the same after school program, so we'd be friends. But so we had ended up being friends for a minute, and we had ended up getting real close. So this particular time, it was like, I think it was about to be summertime. I was like, oh, we should have a sleepover. I'm talking to Zay. I'm like, we should have a sleepover this weekend. And she was like, oh yeah. So I was like, okay, of course we can do it at my house or whatever, and you invite 2 girls and then I invite 2 more girls, so that way it's 6 of us. And she was like, okay, cool, we can do that. So I end up inviting 2 girls, and she had ended up inviting 2 girls. But then in the midst of us, like, thinking of this plan, and as like saying who we was gonna invite or whatever, we had ended up coming up with this silly idea, like, oh, we should tell everybody to like wear their swimming suits to school tomorrow or whatever, because at that time we had ended up having field day. So she was like, we should have everybody wear their swimming suits to school. And I was like, oh yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Oh, and on top of that, we should have a water balloon fight. And then I was like, all through the school, like, we should have a water balloon fight. Like attack the 8th graders or whatever. Cause the 8th graders used to like pick on us, like not in no mean type way, but they used to like pick on us. But it was cool because we was the youngest in the middle school floor, like, cause it was 3 floors in the school. So they used to pick on us or whatever, and we was like, yeah, we're gonna attack the 8th graders or whatever. So we end up, at this time, it was 3-win. So we end up 3-win this other girl, and I don't think I'm gonna get her a name right now because she'll come up later on. But anyway, I end up hitting up a few classmates or whatever, and it was this one particular friend that I had hit up, and I'm gonna give her the name T. Yeah, we had ended up 3-win T or whatever, and T was like, yeah, I'm down with that. I'm down with that. She was like, so when we do it, we should tell everybody to bring their suitcase as if they come into the sleepover, and then that way we could put the water balloons in the suitcase. And I was like, oh yeah, that'd be a good idea, whatever. And after we had figured that out a little bit, thought more into the plan or whatever, we had end up hanging up with T, and we had end up calling another friend, and I'm gonna give her a name also because she in some more story times, and I'm gonna call her Coco. So we had end up calling our friend Coco, and we like, girl, so tomorrow the whole class decided, like, we gonna end up we gonna wear our swimming suits to school or whatever. And she was like, yeah, ooh, I'm down with it. I was like, plus, do you want to come to my sleepover or whatever? She was like, yeah, I'm down coming to sleepover. So like I said, at the midst of it, we still like recruiting people for the sleepover or whatever, still like doing that, but trying to get this whole little prank so that before we go to summertime. So we like, all right, bet. So we get off the phone with everybody, and I'm packing up my swimming suit or whatever, and we had already had some balloons at the house because my mom does like these back to school parties, the end of the school year parties, and they used to like slap too. So I'm gonna have a story time about that. But y'all gotta stay tuned. Y'all gotta work with your girls. So remember these characters because they gonna be nonstop. Like a lot of my friends was like a lot of the people that I hung out with all the time. So anyway, I'm getting ready for school or whatever, and I got my little swimming suit on. I'm packing my little suitcase or whatever. And the next morning, my mom like, why you got a suitcase? And I was like, oh, I'm going over Zay's house for the weekend. And she was like, oh, you ain't talked to me about that. I was like, oh, I was going to talk to you today. She wanted to confirm it with her mom, but she never called me back last night. So I just wanted to pack my clothes just in case. She was like, okay, well, I don't mind. Because, like I said, she was cool. She was a cool girl. I was like, all right, cool. So my mom said that I can go over her house, whatever. So I was able to take the suitcase to school with me. So when I get to school and I'm outside, I'm seeing everybody with their suitcase, and I'm like, okay, bet it's game time. Like, it's on. We got our suitcases. We about to get into it. I got the balloons or whatever. So we walking up to class, and everybody putting their suitcases in the locker. It's in the morning, everybody in the hallway, and we all just talking about it like, y'all, this about to be so funny. This about to be so funny. We all just mingling up near the lockers, and we putting our suitcases up so I get the balloons out or whatever. And we had two doors into our classroom, and one door was like towards the front of the classroom, and the other door was at the back of the classroom. So at the back of the classroom was like what is it, like a faucet, like a sink. It was a sink in the back of the classroom near the door, and at the front of the classroom where the chalkboard and stuff was, that was where our teacher's desk was. So 90% of the time I had sat towards the back of the class a lot of the time, and she had like our desk in 2 rows, but then the rest of the desk was like in a U shape. So everybody was facing her. So, I had ended up texting one of the dudes in another class, because in our 5th grade classes, we were co-ed. But in our 6th grade classes, they had ended up separating us because it was a lot going on with all of us. We was a handful. Like I said, they got hip to me real quick because, like, I was real cool, but they wasn't feeling me because a lot of stuff. So, anyway. So, I ended up texting one of the guys from the other class, the other 6th grade class, and I'm like, hey, come knock on the door and then run. So he was doing that, and every time he would knock on the door, our teacher, of course, would get up to go see who's at the door, and I would run to the back, and I would be filling up the balloons at the water fountain, and I would give it to Coco, and Coco would give it to T, and T would put it in the suitcase or whatever, and then Zay was like, make sure that the teacher would stay out there long enough, and then like let us know when she was coming back, cause he would run, so she would step out in the hallway and like look and try to like figure out like what's going on. So Zay was like, she coming. So we sit back down, everybody sit back down, and she was like, you guys need to not be doing anything in this classroom. When I step away, that's the time for you all to focus on your studies. Like, okay, sis, whatever. So we, like I said, we'd text him again, he'd come and knock, and then she'd do the little step out the classroom, look down the hallway, walk down a little bit, like, ask the other teachers, did they see somebody in the hallway? Is someone knocking on your door? Like, all type of stuff, and we would be filling up the water balloons and putting them in the suitcase, zipping them up. Like, oh my God, it was so fun. Like, and then one of the water balloons popped, and we was almost got caught, but it was just like her bag was seeping, and I guess our teacher didn't even peep it. So we was like, oh my God, we about to get caught. So by this time it's lunchtime. So we like, all right, cool, we could go to lunch or whatever. And we had ended up going to lunch, but in the midst of trying to go to lunch, she had seen that T had the suitcase, and she was like, why do you have that suitcase in my class? And she was like, oh, I'm going over Lingo's house after school, and I didn't know where to put my suitcase at. And she was like, well, why didn't you put it in your locker? And why is it leaking? And at that point, the whole class is outside in the thing, so they start kicking on the lockers like, ooh, and like beating on them. And it was like the whole class, and I was like, oh my God, because at this time, it's just me and T in the room and our teacher. So she goes out there, and I'm like, oh my God, T, dump out the balloons. So we take the suitcase and put them in the sink or whatever, and come back there and zip the suitcase back up like nothing just happened. We were standing there, and then she come back in there. She's like, all right, after I got this settled, opened up the suitcase. Why is it leaking? And she opened it up, and it was just the empty suitcase with the swimming suit and stuff. She was like, I guess my sister must have put a wet suitcase in a swimming suit in there. I didn't know. And she was like, it's something going on with you girls. And the class started kicking again, like, ooh, hitting up against the lockers, dog. That junk was so funny and so loud. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm just sitting there, my heart pounding so fast, because I'm like, oh my God, if she know about if she know about these water balloons in the back, it's going to be over. So our teacher ended up going out to the class, and we, follow her to the hallway or whatever. And we all proceed to get in line and go down to the lunchroom. Well, Coco had ended up telling our teacher that she had left something in the classroom, and I was like, oh, bet. So she had gave her the key, and everybody else walked down to the lunchroom. So since me and T were already at the end of the line, we just went back to the classroom with her and grabbed the water balloons out of the sink, and we put them in the suitcases that T had. Sorry, y'all. We end up putting the balloons from the sink back in the suitcase that Tia had and put it back in her locker or whatever. So we all go down to the lunchroom, and we laughing about it. We like, oh my God, the junk is wild. The junk is crazy. We having so much fun, y'all. I can't wait to the field day. We about to mess these 8th graders up, y'all. So we end up getting done with lunch or whatever, and we walk back to our classroom. We finish our studies, we finish our tests, and now it's time for the field day. And we're like, all right, bet. Oh, no, I forgot a part. So, first, when we had got back to the classroom, our teacher was like, well, we had a surprise for you all. It's such and such birthday. I ain't gonna get a girl no name, because it is what it is. Like, she was like, it's such and such birthday, and we had cake and ice cream for y'all, but since y'all want to beat on the lockers, then I don't think you all deserve it. And we was so sick, like, oh, that junk, bro, but we didn't even care. Like, bro, we about to turn up today. Like, we don't even care about no cake and ice cream. Like, what's in these lockers? We loaded. So we end up doing our studies and stuff, and we were doing our work, whatever. It comes down to the end of the day, which is the last hour and a half for field day. So we like, bet, it's field day. We taking off our uniform or whatever, and they like, what are you girls doing? Well, you can't have those, nope. So it come down to field day, so we all getting rowdy and stuff, and we getting geek, like, all right, it's time, y'all. So we all getting in a huddle, and it's like me and like 9 other girls, and no, it was like 10 of us. It was like me and 10 other girls. And, we all in there. We filling up the little balloons or whatever for the field day. We like, it don't matter by now. Like, it is what it is. So we filling up the balloons or whatever. And our teacher was like, hey, you can't do that. No balloons at school. So we like, okay, da-da-da. So we like, all right, it's cool. So we end up going to get our little suitcases or whatever, and we just walking with the suitcases, and our teacher like just looking at us like, these girls is so freaking weird. Like, what is wrong with them? And we like, oh, we don't want to come back upstairs, and we just gonna leave from outside at the field day. And I guess she fell for it. So they let us walk with the suitcases, and we walking around. And then once we got outside, they had like bounce houses and the dunk tank and other games and little stuff like in the playground of our school. And it was nice. And we took off our uniform shirts, and we was like, hey, we had our swimming suits on. We was all looking good. We was looking cute. Like, yes, we did this junk. And everybody in the school looking like, what the heck? They got their uniforms on because we went to it. At this time, they also integrated the school with uniforms too. So it was a few people with uniforms and a few people not with uniforms. And they was like, what the heck? Like, just looking at us crazy. We all like, we them 6'2" girls. We them 6'2" girls. Like, we were so bad, y'all. Like, it was crazy. I can laugh about it now, but let me finish with the story. So I'm like, I was like, y'all, let's get ready. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? You know, for this water balloon fight? So we all was like, yeah. We put our suitcases down on the ground, and I threw the first water balloon. I was like, whoo! And then everybody else started throwing theirs. Tell me why 2 security guards and our administrator came, not the principal, like our administrator who helped with stuff. She had came, our counselor, I guess you would call her. Our counselor had came over, and she was like, you need to come with me. I was sick, like, bro, what did I do? Because at this point, everybody was throwing water balloons, like, and they had a dunk tank with water, and people was getting in it, so you getting wet anyway. So, like, you feel me? I really was like, what I'm getting in trouble for? So they ended up taking me to the office or whatever, and T and Zay had ended up texting me, not texting me, coming down there and checking on me, and was like, girl, you good? They about to suspend you? You in trouble? And I was like, I don't know, I'm just sitting here. Like, they just had me sitting in the office in a chair, and I'm like, dang, I hope they don't suspend me. Like, I hope I don't even get in trouble for this. I really just hope they, like, just let me slide. And they was like, honestly, they should just let you slide. Like, everybody out there getting wet anyway. So our another little lady at the desk was like, y'all girls gotta get out of here. So I tried to get up and I tried to walk. She's like, not you. And I was like, and I sat back down, and Zay was like, all right, girl, I'm gonna see you. I was like, girl, this is eerie. Meanwhile, I'm still sitting in my swimsuit top. And I'm like, this is irritating. And the dang lady at the desk, she was like, where is your shirt at? And Zay and T had ended up running, like, book it. And I'm like, and I just sunk down in my seat, like, I don't know where my shirt is. Like, bro, it's probably out there with the water balloons in the suitcase. Like, I don't know. And so our principal ended up coming out. She was like, well, it's only 20 minutes till the school is over, so you might as well just sit out here. And we got some stories about the principal, too, because I ain't going to spill too much tea right now, because it's early. But, y'all, that is the end of this crazy story time about how we started a water balloon fight at our school's end of the year party. And I don't know. Ain't really no story behind this. Like, no meaning to this one. It was just fun, little YOLO moment. Had fun. But I got more story times about my 6th grade year, because I think I really found myself at 6th grade. Like, I ain't really care what too many people thought. I ain't care what people had to say about me. I knew myself. Like, I was very confident. I knew I was cute, and it just was what it was. Plus, my mama put me in a black school versus a white one. So, whew. We got some story times about that too. Thank y'all for tuning in to my story times. If y'all are enjoying my channel, go ahead and subscribe to your girl. Go ahead and click that notification button as well, so that y'all can get the latest of my content, and give your girls a thumbs up, because I need those likes, baby.